Welcome everybody to another edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Don Juan Sports. Adam, just wanted to, catch you up on what's going on around the sports, as well as tell you a little bit about a documentary I recently saw. I don't know if any of you watched the Football Life on NFL Network. Basically, it's a documentary of, a figure in football, whether it be past, present. They basically document. They had one on Bill Belichick, Mike Ditka. The one I happened to catch was about Walter Payton. Let me tell you, nobody, nobody, maybe Jerry Rice are the only guy who can compare to the work ethic that Walter Payton had. If you haven't seen his documentary, I recommend looking up A Football Life on Hulu or whatever social media or video outlet streaming you can look it up, and I recommend watching it. If you're a diehard football fan, it's great. Even if you're not a football fan, you get to see what the rigors was and how these guys sometimes bond together. And obviously, Walter is no longer here on this earth, but he is arguably the best running back of all time. That is up for debate. You could say Jim Brown, Barry Sanders. There's a lot of guys you can throw in there. Curtis Martin. Who knows? You have a lot of guys you can throw in that greatest back category. But he was the one that started it all and really brought it all together. You could say Jim Brown started it all. But the point was, the documentary was great. And I recommend you watching it. It's one of those things that if you miss it, you're missing out on a piece of the sports history. It really is about the sports history and somebody who transcended the sport, which is great because I had a conversation about transcending sports figures and who did it. Tiger Woods transcended his sport. Muhammad Ali transcended his sport. LT, Walter Payton, those guys. What it means is they're on a level that is, there are great players and then there are transcending players. Transcending players are the ones that they pop into your head. When you think of the NBA, you've got Magic, Jordan, Bird. Those three guys transcend their sport. Boom, pops into your head immediately. If you talk about the NFL right now, you probably talk about Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, a couple other guys like that. They're transcending the sport. Boxing, think of Muhammad Ali, and those guys, transcending their sport. If you want to talk about positions, you can get intricate with who's transcended what and whatnot. It's just a great topic to have. I suggest you do have it. But, one of the topics that we had that was just a discussion was transcending athletes. Now, getting on to more pressing matters. The New York Knicks. Man, are they fighting for their playoff lives. Every game is critical. I know that they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers and they have games against Boston and Miami. They cannot let up on the weaker teams. That's when you find out what type of team you're made of. If they overlook these two teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they'll come up and bite you. This is the NBA. This is professional sports. This is not like college where you can look at a team and dominate them. This is professional athletes. Some of them take pride in what they do, and they want to win. They want to win. They establish their resume in case things get traded. That's why people don't understand. When a player doesn't play hard, that's fine. Don't play hard. Other teams are going to see it. Even if you're on a bad team, play hard because you never know what good team might pick you up, might scout you, say, hey, you know what? This guy's got some potential. He's played hard in a losing situation. Let's see what he can do. On a other note, we were talking about, we're going to keep it in basketball, but the other night, LeBron James played, and the Miami Heat played the Chicago Bulls. And the Chicago Bulls basically, well, they won in overtime. But LeBron James missed critical free throws. He had a great clutch three, but he missed a critical free throw. Folks, free throws are gifts. They're like turnovers. They make bad teams compete with good teams. Turnovers in football make talent of a good team equal to the talent that they're playing. If they're playing a mediocre Browns team and the Browns get 4 turnovers and score off all 4 turnovers and do nothing, and don't have any turnovers themselves, they can beat a team like the Patriots and the Steelers. A team like the Miami Heat, you need to hit free throws. It's the difference between winning a ball game and losing a ball game, especially close down the stretch. If you're a young team, like the Sixers, you want to stay in a game with a good team. Free throws are critical. So obviously, turnovers are critical too. But you get to the line, you can keep yourself in a game for free throws. And when you don't hit it, and you're the clutch man, the point man, that's where we find out how nervous LeBron James really is. Because if he were a champion, he would have hit those, sealed the game, they would be in first place right now. But they're not. And this could be a telling sign. And another thing I want people to know about is
got a lot of talent. Doesn't mean they're the best team. And that proved it the other night against the Bulls. They had a lot of talent, but when it came down the stretch, the Bulls had more bench and more fresh legs that they could rotate in. That could cost Miami down the stretch. Before we go, we got to mention the New York Rangers won their first playoff series, first playoff game, I should say. Excuse me, not series. They did well. They're going to go as far as their goaltender takes them, and New Jersey's in it as well, and as well as the Flyers. So let's keep these local teams going, and you want your local teams in the playoffs. It's exciting. You should watch it. Follow your team, and of course the Yankees have opened up as well as the Mets, and they're having a nice, solid start to their year. But again, it's baseball. You know what baseball means? I've already told you. It means spring, it means fresh air, it means barbecues, and it's coming. Summertime's coming, folks. I'm your host, Don Juan Sports. We'll be back in a couple days to discuss the Dwayne Wade situation, about the Olympics, and some other things that come up in sports. And don't miss the draft preview show. Holla at your boy. I'm out.